Namaste. Welcome back to Top Tarot Minors. I'm going to record a couple of videos today for the Two and the Three of Swords and endeavor to keep this series going. Unfortunately, I can't be regular with these videos. I will eventually have the entire 56 cards up, but I want to thank you for your patience. So today is Two of Swords, and I'm going to do a little differently today. I'm going to read to you from the words of Barbara Moore. This is Journey into the Hidden Realm with the beautiful artwork by Julia Jeffrey. Winter's breath, chill and sharp, whispers over his bare skin so lightly he barely feels it. He can, however, feel her heartbeat just behind his head, slow and quiet. It is night's darkest hour, and yet the scene glows, the light of the moon reflected and bounced around in the snow-covered landscape. He tries to breathe deeply and evenly and tries to match his breath to her heart, tries not to gasp when the icy blade, cold and sharp, brushes his skin. She is as tiny and dark as he is brawny and light. His ways are not her ways, but his ways are not serving him right now. And so he comes to her, plants his sword in the ground, and gives himself over to her in complete trust. She knows that sometimes the light of the mind is too bright and cannot be seen. She plays the role of the moon and can reflect back the truth, softer, gentler, slightly different. Things that cannot be tolerated in the full light of day can be accepted in time, in the shadowy guise of dreams. She will not hurt him, but simply holds the sword. The power to wound is his. There is no harm as long as he remains still. I find this card really intriguing. And it's so apropos that somehow, some way, I've come here on this day as we enter into Libra season. And many of you may be aware that this card, decanically, is the first card of Libra, the first card associated with justice or adjustment or karma, or however you name that card, that is designated as the Libra card. This is a card of deep inner contemplation. And sometimes this card is called the Little Priestess card. It is a card very much of listening. This card is from the Gaian Tarot. It's just beautiful. It reminds me of those moments where you know there is a sign in the ether. You just know that Spirit is with you and talking to you, and you just close your eyes and maybe hands are on heart, or you find a comfortable position and you just listen. And though you may not understand, you receive that information. There is a transmission in the air. There is a transmission in the ether, and so you open yourself to receiving it, whether or not your three-dimensional mind is able to interpret it or not. And so the Two of Swords, this suit of thought and mind and voice, and the paradox, really, of words and swords, pens and swords, is in this place where we need to create space and silence and time for contemplation. Twos are always about relationship. Now, this might not be with your lover. This is about relationship, or the concept of relationship in general. My relationship with myself, my relationship with my colleagues, my work, my relationship with the environment. There is something that needs inner contemplation. I think this is a really important card. Libra, a time of important choices and weighing of matters. First of all, we need to make space for that. It's so important, so very, very important. I haven't shown you many cards from the World of Hilda Tarot. I think it's a lovely summer deck, and this one where she is divining and connecting with spirit in a different way. I mean, all these cards make me giggle, laugh. Sometimes this is when I pick up the pendulum. I need to connect with spirit in a different way and become a vessel to receive a message, or just to know that I'm capable of receiving a message. There's something here in Hilda with her divining rod. While this whole deck is kind of fun and entertaining, I love the way that it's like with all my heart and all my faith and my trust, I pick up my divining rod, or I pick up my pendulum, and I ask and I listen. And there's always two parts to this. There needs to be a question. What are you asking? And because if you don't ask, you're not going to get an answer. And like I said, when I'm reminded of this particular card here from the Gaian, our three-dimensional mind may not be able to interpret it right now. But what's important is that we receive the transmission. So important. Now, like I said in a few of these episodes, I chose these cards a long time ago, and so I'm going to go to there must have been something very profound in this guidebook, so I'm going to just turn to the Two of Swords. This is the lovely Om Tarot by Darshani Suku, and let's just go to the Suit of Swords. I would like to spend some more time with this deck. When I first got it, I did, and I haven't. Okay. The little boy is crouched behind a wall. Okay, so can you see that there's let me hold this up for you. He doesn't look crouched to me, but there he is. There's a little boy in front of that wall. The little boy is crouched behind a wall that protects him from the dark forest. He is happy for the safety that the wall offers, even though it encloses him in a tiny space. The little space is all that he can handle. It is a tiny space, a safe and delicate space. In this space, there are no wild trees, no weeds, and nothing unexpected. The sun shines steadily. The howling winds are at bay. One must be strong to venture beyond the wall. One must be equipped with sturdy shoes and sharp weapons. This little boy is not ready. He will stay in his garden and play with what he knows. One day, when he is older, stronger, and able, he might open his gates and see what is in the forest. As children, we do not have our own minds. We soak in the mental and emotional reality of our environment. We take in every information as truth. At some point, though, we must grow up and leave the insecurities of childhood behind. What cannot transition with us gets locked away. You plan on coming back on a day when you are stronger and more able. Till then, the little boy waits and plays in his garden. The Two of Swords is a card of truce, a momentary peace where you can take a break from the overwhelming number of fears, doubts, and insecurities in your mind. You get to have some distance. Okay, so a slightly different nuance to this card than most Waite-Smith-inspired decks. But as I was reading that, starting to read that, I'm thinking, all right, so it's almost as if the forest on the outside of that wall is the adult mind. It's the monkey mind. And what is on the inside in that garden, that sacred space, is the space between the thoughts. It's the stillness, the place we try to get to in meditation, the place that sometimes, if we practice regularly, we can find quite easily. And so in this two of mind, this two of thought, we're seeing two worlds, the darkness and the light. And what a beautiful portrayal that is. Okay, I have a couple other cards on the table today. This one is from Tarot Avatara, and this one is from the Marielle. In the Marielle Tarot, we have a different part of the body represented in all of the twos. And in this two, we have the lungs, we have the breath. And it's a really powerful correspondence for me because I like to weave together all that air represents. In a very simplistic version, in a very simplistic way, the Suit of Swords is connected to the mind, air, thought. However, this is so much more expansive than that. There's always a relationship, and I think about two breaths, two lungs, the inhale and the exhale, the marrying of the inhale and the exhale, how the inhale and the exhale become one breath, how sometimes it just takes one breath to find the answer or to clear a thought. It's a potent card. The element of air, of course, is the mind, and it is the thought, and it is the breath. And the element of air is also the element of the heart space, the heart chakra. And the lungs in chakra psychology are part of that space. And so this peace of mind that we are looking to attain in the Two of Swords is connected to the way that we want to harmonize heart and mind, thought and heart, and eventually the integrity of the voice as well too. So I really love this incorporation here of breath and lungs. It's a really expansive way to view this this card. And in the Tarot Avatara, the mind or the minds can incorporate also different aspects of self. You know, what would the younger me say? What would the less tainted version of myself say here or think here? And in this card, I really feel the energy of a younger version of Frida Kahlo versus one who has already endured so much. And sometimes we need to go back to the less tarnished version of ourself to find the pure thought, to find the clean thought. It's really quite something. Yeah. So here in this first decan of Libra, I think focusing on this card can be really healing and potent. Mm-hmm. And so I only have 6 cards on the table, and for my top 5, I'm going to take out Tarot of the Divine. I'm going to choose these 5 here. And they are, left to right, the Marielle Tarot, the World of Hilda, Tarot Avatara, the Gaian Tarot, and the lovely Om Tarot. Thank you. Let me know your thoughts, and if you have a favorite 2 of Swords card, I'd love to hear from you. Take good care of yourselves. Namaste.